All right, let's continue the build up to the Rugby Championship and let's talk about those Aussies who are going to be, I don't know actually when they're going to be heading out to South Africa. Presumably in the next couple of days, they'll be heading here. And yeah, I'll be at the game in Johannesburg next weekend. 1 week till the Rugby Championship gets underway. New Zealand heading to Argentina. That's going to be pretty tasty. And then you've got the Wallabies, the rejuvenated Wallabies, heading to the home of the world champions. And just how good are the Wallabies? We are going to find out. It looks like there was massive improvement under Joe Schmidt, but it is hard to tell because the Lions were an unknown force before they got together. It's too simple to say they are much better than the independent parts of the 4 countries that form the British and Irish Lions, because it's just it's an unusual thing, isn't it? Teams coming together, throwing the way they used to play out the window, coming together with no cohesion and building it over a few weeks. The Wallabies did really, really well. Poor first test, much improved in the second and improved again in the third. Will they be able to continue that momentum? We are going to get a sense of exactly how good the Wallabies are and actually how good the British and Irish Lions are after these tests with the Wallabies, with Joe Schmidt's men coming out here. Now, there was a comment on the video the other day, and thank you so much for the chat in the comments. Get stuck in there down below. One of the comments was, I mean, actually, there was a couple of funny comments. One was, it was nice of the UK and Ireland to provide some pre-season friendlies before the proper rugby begins. Well played. And also a comment the other day that said, the Rugby Championship this year might be harder to win than the Rugby World Cup. And immediately I thought, well, that's just a preposterous thing to say. But then I thought about it and went, hold on a minute. I'm not going to say it's going to be harder to win than the Rugby World Cup, because that is the ultimate. But I take the point. The Rugby Championship this year could be really, really hard to win. Argentina are a match for anyone on their day. New Zealand, like South Africa, where I am now, they've got to fly over to New Zealand and go and take on the All Blacks in their backyard. That is as hard as it gets. Similarly, anyone travelling here has got a really tough day at the office. And the Wallabies seem to be, as I say, we'll get a sense of how good they are. They seem to be much improved. So the Rugby Championship, whoever wins it this year is going to properly earn it. And we've got some incredible games ahead. I keep talking about South Africa heading to New Zealand, and that is the pick of the matches in what rounds 3 and 4. But great games in between. By the way, thank you so much for your support on the channel. I really appreciate it. I'm Tim and this is Egg Chasers, and I am, as you can see, in South Africa. I'm still in KZN with the family. We're having an absolutely brilliant time. This is more like it. I felt guilty that I was just bringing the rain with me wherever I went. The rain was in Australia. There was loads of rain in the northeast part of KZN where we were, Tonga Beach way, up near the border of Mozambique. But this is a KZN winter. Beautiful hot weather. It's going to be about 28 today. It's already feeling like that. I'm going to have to get some sun cream on because I am not used to the sunshine, and this is just unreal. I came to the Shlishlue Umfolozi National Park. This is the oldest game reserve in South Africa. And I came last year, only a very brief stop here, and I was taken with it. I said to my family when I went back, it's like Wakanda out of the Black Panther movies, and you can see what I'm talking about with that view. Isn't that view unbelievable? I'm just looking down. You're not going to be able to see on this, but I'm looking down, and there's 3 giraffe just down there, little baby one, and a load of zebras, some warthogs running around on the road. It's absolutely magic. Saw African wild dog earlier today on the game drive we went on, which is very, very rare, and I feel very lucky. They're my favourite animal. As a rugby fan, the African wild dog is where it's at, because they're the ultimate pack animal. They're also the most successful predator in Africa. They make they have a higher kill percentage than any of the big cats. I think something like 7 times out of 10 they make a kill, and they do it by working together as a pack in true rugby union style, and they just run and run and run relentlessly until their prey is completely tired out. They take little bites at it here and there, wear it down, and eventually they just go in for the kill when the opposition cannot take any more, and then they eat it alive. They are ruthless. A brief interruption in the video from here at Rhino Ridge in the Shlishlue Umfolozi National Park to say thank you to Pace Car Rental for their support of this trip. They were waiting with a car for me in the arrivals hall at King Shaka Airport in Durban. Literally 5 minutes after we walked through into the arrivals, we were in the car and on our way because all the paperwork had been done before we even got there. And whether you are a tourist visiting South Africa or you're inside South Africa and wanting a short or a long-term rental, Pace Car Rental have places all over. So you can get a discount with the code EGGCHASERS via the link in the description. And as you'll see, I'm making sure I say this message again because I had a go at doing it yesterday. Pace Rental Car absolutely nailed this. I mean, have a look at what I'm driving on. They said, Tim, you want a Toyota Fortuner, which is what I've got. Thank you very much. Dead easy. Picked it up from the airport, all ready to go. Paperwork already done. No faff. And you could get sorted by Pace Rental Car as well. Use code EGGCHASERS for a discount, and you can find that link in the description. Giraffe.
There's a baby.
Look, there's another one there.
Oh my god. Look, it's a baby.
I think the baby's curious. Another little one there. Use code EGGCHASERS for a discount. Find it in the link down below. The brakes work quite well in this one, as that baby giraffe found out. How good are the Wallabies? Let's have a look at their squad then. There are some matchups that I am so looking forward to next weekend when you look at the Wallaby squad. Ebenezer against Will Skelton. I mean, using animal type analogies, that is like two alpha male, pick your animal, two alpha lions fighting to be the dominant member of the tribe, and the other one's going to get kicked out on his own into the wilderness. Ebenezer versus Will Skelton. Bring it on. Drink it in. I can't wait for that. Same goes. Rob Valentini and Peter Steph Toy. I hope Bobby V is fit. He's in the squad. And Peter Steph Toy, a god among men. Those two going at it. That's going to be something else as well. And there's a whole lot of Bosch in this Wallaby team. A whole lot of Bosch. And even more so, those two names I mentioned already, but Lukan Salakai Lotto. Again, I do wonder whether there are regrets from Joe Schmidt about the selection during the Lions test. Because the improvement from the Wallabies from test 1 to test 2, test 2 to test 3, as he brought back in the Bosch, and he got Taniela Tupou back in. Will Skelton came in test 2, and he's brought Lukan Salakai Lotto back into the squad, who was brilliant against the Lions. His performance again in the First Nations Pacifica game was just awesome, and he brought that physicality, and you're going to need that when you come here. So I wonder if, and with Taniela Tupou obviously coming in that final test, I wonder if that is a slight recognition that Joe Schmidt maybe got it wrong there. Yeah. Jake Gordon is out injured, so Nick White is in, and that's another matchup. And what animal analogy would I go for with Nick White against Faf de Klerk? Little, feisty. There's like a couple of honey badgers going at it, isn't it? Like real tough, small, hard men who pack a load of power in. I'm trying to think of what the right analogy is. Let me know in the chat down below. What animal would that be like? Nick White against Faf de Klerk going head to head. Faf de Klerk with his blonde mane might be a little honey badger, and Nick White a little angry warthog maybe. But I'm so in for that. And yeah, I want more Nick White shithousery, please. And I mean, he's already given us a bit of shithousery, hasn't he? Faking his retirement. Yeah, I'm retiring. No, I'm back in. Now, I know he was doing it for Jake Gordon's injury, but it's just cool. He was so good in that third test. Clear man of the match for me, so I'm really pleased he's in. There are some players out, Jake Gordon being one of them. That's a hamstring injury. Harry Potter's also got a hamstring injury. Matt Fessler, the hooker, is out too, and Dave Parecki, another hooker, has retired. Tom Liner out with concussion. So there's a number of players out. In comes Aidan Ross in the front row, Salakai Lotto, as I've mentioned, in the second row, Ryan Lonergan at half-back, Tain Edmed at fly-half. That is still the weak link with Australia, isn't it? Who is going to grab the reins at 10 and boss it. Ben Donaldson did a really good job coming off the bench, and I think he'll be the number 10 going into this one. No Lolosio, no Tom Liner. James O'Connor's still on the bench, and I still wonder if James O'Connor off the bench might be the right call to allow the 6-2 split. Obviously, Tate McDermott slotted in on the wing really well against the Lions. Still no Pete Samu, and I guess that speaks to just how good the Wallabies back row options are. And they're genuinely really, really good in the back row when you've got Tom Hooper probably on the bench, Bobby V if fit, with Fraser McWright and Harry Wilson. You've also got Carlo Tizzano on the bench, Langy Gleeson and Nick Champion de Crepney. Probably not even, sorry, I'm just getting distracted by the giraffe again. They're just majestic, aren't they? Anyway, when you've got those guys, maybe not even in the matchday squad, the back row is a real area of strength, and they can not even select Pete Samu, and they're on it. Second row, Jeff Parling, who's off to be head coach of Leicester, did a brilliant job. Cleaned out the Lions line out. They're going to need to be good there. That's going to be a real test for South Africa with Nick Frost and Jeremy Williams doing a job. Will Skelton adding the Bosch there. So I think their pack's really good. Can they cope with Ox Nche? So Tom Robertson and who was the other tight head prop? Can't remember now. No, completely brain farted it. I'm going to move on. Whoever the tight head props were in test one got, well, actually they did all right, but much better with Taniela Tupou against Ox Nche. That should be fun. And Angus Bell off the bench with James Slipper. Angus Bell and Taniela Tupou on their day, two of the best props in world rugby. So pack actually in a better spot than you think. And what's interesting, when you look back at the Lions tour, the Lions had the better pack. The Wallabies had the better back line. And can we just talk about Max Jorgensen for a minute? Everyone's talking about Sasha Feinberg and Gomazulu, incredible young player. Everyone's talking about Henry Pollock, brilliant young player. Wallace Satiti, incredible young player. There are some really, really good young players coming through in world rugby at the minute. Max Jorgensen is right up there. And I think he's gone under the radar, but he properly arrived in that Lions series. I was so impressed with him. And very much like those scrum cap wearing Power Rangers from South Africa, not only has he got a bit of class and good skills, he works so hard. His kick chase is awesome. And his spotting an opportunity, that try, that wayward pass, on it like a shot, try, he was absolutely sensational. And Dylan Peach is great. Harry Potter was great. They've just got good, hard-working rugby players with good rugby brains. And Lenny Kitau and Joseph Suali'i up against Dialende and Creel, or whoever the centres may be. They've got something there. It's just, they just need a 10. A world-class 10. Look at England, have got 3 of them, or 4 of them. South Africa have got 3 incredible 10s. New Zealand have got a couple, and Richie Mwanga coming back next year is going to be huge for them. Australia just need one, and they could be a proper team. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm so looking forward to. Let me just show you this view again. You don't want to look at me when you can look at that. I'm at Rhino Ridge in Hluhluwe Umfolozi National Park, and it is absolutely stunning. Family are absolutely loving it here, and so am I. And got one more night here, and then we head to Cape Town and the Western Cape. Looking forward to seeing some penguins. The cable car up to Table Mountain is, in fact, there we go. Can I have a bit of advice, please? The cable car at Table Mountain is out of service. It's being repaired. Is it worth the hike? We were going to kind of hike Lion's Head and do the cable car for Table Mountain. Is the Table Mountain hike worth the effort? Let me know. I'm up for it. We've had a few days just kind of chilling out and doing not very much. So we're quite an active family, so we're well up for that. So, but is it worth it? Let me know. Bit of local knowledge, please, would be great. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.